outlets have been cleaned out, all the old construction material has been picked up and it's in a dumpster. Dumpster we hauled out on Wednesday. The structure, we're not living in it right now because it's been an ongoing issue with the renovation. Last year, I tore the tendon in my elbow and was medically taken off, restricted from doing anything. I couldn't lift 2 pounds. I'd made a plan with Melissa last year to get the property evaded, and then I got hurt like 3 weeks later. The plan was always to pick the project up this spring and get it done. This is my contractor, Casey Moutre. We have made progress on the roof. Got the shingles up on the front. He's working on getting some sheeting in on the high side. I'll be there tomorrow afternoon to help get that finished up. Hopefully by the weekend, we'll have it shingled. My question is, I have a cabin that I bought that we're staying in while we renovate this property. And I understand that the extension cords are an issue. Is the issue with the building that it's not on a foundation? And not?
It's not zoned for a it's not zoned for a trailer or a mini house or whatever you wanna call it, shed.
Okay, so how do I get that, how do I make that happen?
You have to go through P and Z and have that rezoned. And a R3 rezoning has to have mobile home, or permitted uses is a mobile home. And we have also, and I think we have also said many houses, but service buildings, areas necessary to provide laundry, sanitation, storage, vending machines, and other similar services provided by the facility operator, which means a park.
Right.
Number 3, recreation buildings and areas serving only the mobile home districts in which they are located. Mobile home district, which means a park. Customary accessory buildings and facilities for operation of the mobile home district in which they are located. Now, with that being said, a mobile home park, and the explanations here, says a parcel of land under single ownership which has been planned and approved for the placement if no less than 5 mobile homes for non-transient use.
Okay.
So you would have to have 5 trailers. Your property is not big enough for that.
No, it's not.
And I doubt if your neighbors will,
Well,
I'm just guessing,
right.
do not wanna rezone that as a mobile home park.
But this cabin could be converted into like a mother-in-law suite. I have a foundation system that I can put it on, and the pad that it's currently sitting on has the minimum requirement of wiring run to it already from a previous owner. The Shivens bought it from Spalding.
But it doesn't fit the square footage for a R2 house.
What's the square footage for an R2? Because it's 240 square feet.
Ain't even close. 1,400. Go to an R2. Which is dwelling standards. R2 is 920 square feet.
920 square feet.
Wow.
Minimum.
All right.
So mine is barely.
Even for just a married couple.
That's been the rule since this was implemented in 1984. It was updated in 2003, and there's still some updates in there that hopefully when the new building inspector gets it, and include mini homes into the trailer parks. Because I don't think anybody wants mini homes in their residential neighborhoods, because of, you can have sheds and you can anchor them down, but nothing occupiable.
Okay.
It's not an occupiable
What-
space.
What if I were to tell you, and this is not just me pulling something out of my ass here, that the long-term plan for this is to not be an occupied space? It's gonna be like an office, like
Then you're gonna have to, it has,
like a game room or something where
if it,
we're not in there.
it's
full
gonna,
time.
if it's a commercial,
No,
or
not,
if it, well, if it's a business, it has to be commercial zoned and commercially,
Okay.
designated. Conditional uses,
But it can be attached to the house, right?
what?
The same. It
This,
is considered on a house.
if we attach it to the house or add it on to it,
Right.
it has to have a full foundation,
we'd have to have a full foundation then. Now, I've got a,
or as, full foundation, and what we consider a slab home is
As long as it's under
the
state,
floor is on, the floor is the slab.
okay, as long as it's under state regulations, it's okay?
What state regulations? I gotta follow Monroe City's regulations.
municipality, state.
We're under municipality.
I'm gonna say state code is, a pier and beam foundation that will support 75,000 pounds, which this will do. And this building does not weigh 75,000 pounds.
That's what I'm asking.
But it's,
My thing is,
how are you going to attach it? Is it going to have a,
well, they're helical piers that are drilled into the ground. I think these are almost 6 feet.
yeah, but I'm talking about attached to the house.
Oh, I don't know, the house,
Still working on the house.
we're still working on the house.
But I can't, it's not an occupiable space, it's gotta have 920 square feet per an
I cannot afford rent on 2 places and a renovation. So my solution is to have this temporarily until we get at least a room in the house done, which is probably gonna be in the summer.
That is up to, the council, the chief, police chief. And because I'm only advising what needs to be done,
Right.
and I'm not making that decision.
That's fine.
I don't make that decision.
That's fine.
Yep.
What I'm telling you is I can get this on a state regulated approved, a state code approved foundation, helical pier and wood beam foundation. Each pier supports 5,000 pounds. I have nine piers, that's 45,000 pounds. The beams tie the piers together. The beams themselves will support 10,000 pounds. It will be well within state regulation as far as a foundation for this type of building. I've got 60 amps of electrical run to the pad that's currently sitting underneath this building, which is enough, it's a minimum enough for 4 outlets and a light switch. I can slave an outlet to a light switch. After I'm done and can get back into the house, I will gladly buy a piece of land and move it out of the city. But I have to have this as my temporary solution.
I can't do that.
I know you can't make that call tonight, but
That's, and even if you're building a new home, if you're building a brand new home, and you say, okay, I wanna build the garage first, I cannot let that happen, because that is not an occupiable space, because the house has to be built before any accessory building, is how it's read.
Well, the house is built, it's just undergoing a renovation.
But you're wanting to occupy a non-occupiable space. It's not 920 feet, it's, I can't let people live in tents in the backyard. I'm not calling your shed a tent, but,
It's
you know,
it's-
apples to apples.
It's a cabin, it's not a shed.
I know, but it's in the city limits of Monroe City, I cannot let that happen. Because if the wind does come through, and you know the wind blows in Monroe
Oh, I
City,
know the wind can blow.
and, that's why I try and get every shed, even if it's a little, it's 200 feet or smaller, goes without a building permit. But I advise anybody, if I see them putting up a shed in the backyard, I advise them to tie it down.
Right.
Because you don't want that into your neighbor's house, then that's your house insurance, that you're causing damage or hurting
Liability
someone.
insurance, yeah, I get where you're coming from. I can have this, and I also know I'm not ignoring what you just said. I can have this tied down,
I know you can.
and I can get.
And you're
this-
going above and beyond with the helixes, I agree,
Right.
but I just can't.
But I have to get special approval from the council to make that happen.
And they're gonna follow my recommendations.
So you can't even give me till the summertime, till the end of summer to get one room.
I cannot do that. It's not my call. It's up to, the council, Mr. Shoemaker, and, if they wanna bring it before the council to make that decision,
Can we do that?
Yeah, I can put you on that.
I mean, I'm just,
I mean, you can
I'm
be
not
on the next
asking-
docket.
you know, I'm not asking to make this a permanent structure on the property. I just need it there long enough to get, well, if I get one room done, the house is gonna be less than 920 livable square feet, so I'm gonna need at least
Yeah,
a
but the
bottom.
rest of the house is there.
Well, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. So-
I'm not talking about, okay, you're just gonna fix one room, but the rest of the house is there.
Okay, oh, I get what you're saying. So,
Does the entire structure have to be livable?
because I got,
If you're remodeling and continuing remodeling,
right,
and you have remodel permits, and if in every, how long does it, I'm sorry, I can't remember how, if it's either 6 months or a year.
I believe
But
general
if
rules are a year.
If it's a year and you don't see that you're getting done, you bring me a written letter and we give you a 6 months extension.
Okay.
Or another, I'm gonna back up. I do not know if it's a 6 month, but you get an extension.
Okay.
I don't know
No,
how
you're
much,
not-
I don't know how much longer that is because I ain't.
Now, I'm
Prepared
not
for that
adding
answer.
square footage to the house. I'm not adding square
I know,
footage to
but
the
a
house.
remodel.
And I'm not changing the floor plan. But what started all this was a roof that had 11 layers on it. Yeah.
I'm surprised they held it up.
How did you
Yeah.
get to,
Green oak, true measure 2x4s.
Yeah.
Yeah, when that house was built, they just cut the trees, milled the lumber and slapped the house together. The
wow,
wood cured in the structure.
how bad was the water damage? Mainly what you're fighting?
Water damage, I'm putting a roof vent system, a ridge vent system on it to get it properly vented. But I've come across water damage, fire damage,
Ooh.
and I've got 3 different types of electrical wires that are spliced together in this house. None of it is in junction boxes, and I can fix all that. But I just,
Takes time.
it takes time, and it takes money, and this has been a project that was always gonna be paycheck to paycheck, get done what I can get done. You know, and then I hurt my arm last year, and that just set me back a whole year. You know, I'm not asking for permanent special things, I need time to get this stuff done. I've got a licensed contractor on the job now, he's getting stuff done little by little on days that I'm not there to help him. When I get in, when I get in with daylight left, I climb up on the roof and help him. You know, it's just, I need to be able to live in this cabin at the back of my property until I can get at least one room in the house done. And then I'll gladly buy a little piece of land and put that property out in the country, or put that cabin out in the country. I'm good with it, but I need a little extra time. So, that's all I'm at, and I'm not gonna be able to do it by the 15th, which is Friday. We are making headway. I've got pictures to show you if you want. But, like I said, all the pallets are gone, all the old construction materials gone. My truck, which I'm thinking the city is thinking is abandoned and derelict, is not. It just needs to be inspected and licensed. It's going in the shop Thursday for that, and the motorcycle's gonna have to wait till the house is done.
Let me go ahead and put him on the schedule for the 21st council meeting.
Yeah. Get whatever numbers on that. So.
So at the, exactly.
What's your name?
Aaron Gilbert, 1A Arlen. Yeah, that front section of the house that we just got shingled up last weekend.
Get him on the schedule.
I was cutting it in 3-foot sections, and each section is 150 pounds.
Wow.
I took 12 off the west end and 9 off the north
Oh,
end.
wow.
It had all been DIY, cause no contractor would put that anywhere.
Well, that state only allows two
Yeah,
layers of shingles. It had 2 layers of cedar, it was all the way down to the original cedar, 2 layers of the cedar and 9 layers of asphalt. Yeah.
Cedar's heavy too.
Oh my God. It was bad. I'm actually running into very little rot,
That's good.
very little rot, which surprised the hell out of me.
Yeah, no kidding.
So the roofs. Green boards,
Mm-hmm.
testament to Amish construction right there. Yeah, that's
What year was that built?
1980,
1908. Oh, wow.
yeah.
Didn't realize it was that old.
I think it's had, 2 other renovations that have actually added square footage to the house. Like the kitchen in the back isn't original to the house. The dining area, I think, isn't original to the house. But it's always been a 2-story, and it's always been
Right around.
like a T.
Mm.
But yeah, so, it's been a,
Well, and you bought it and then around 2 years later, COVID hit it.
yeah, so, alright, I think that's the extent of my questions. I mean, obviously I understand your position, you can't go above and beyond what the code book says you can do. So, I'll bring it before the council, and trust me, this has not been a project that I wanted to go this long. It's just been a, have you ever seen the movie Money Pit?
We finally got stairs.
Yeah, when I found that wiring, I actually was surprised that the house hasn't burned down.
Knob and tube and.
It's knob and tube, spliced into that 70s aluminum loom wiring, spliced into modern 3-cord. None of it's in junction boxes, none of it's You know, so I went, and it's got two mains, it's got two pans.
We'll have 12 to the ground, and it was set up.
Yeah, I'm gonna rewire the house, and all of the wiring that's in it now is coming out.
Right.
So, anything that's run out to the 100 amp panel on the shed is gonna stay, because that's all modern wiring. But everything in the house is coming out.
Yeah,
So,
well, you know for sure it's good, yeah.
yeah. And we're gonna replumb it, put modern plumbing in it. I'm gonna
That's what I went to school for.
I wanna run the sewer vent up to the ridge vent. Those ridge vents are nice.
Yeah.
It makes it to where you don't have to have a whole bunch of ugly holes sticking in your roof. Provides proper ventilation. That's gonna cut down a lot. Yeah, that's the plan. That's always been the plan, was to get this house fixed properly. It was just a bigger project than I thought it was gonna be, so.
Always is something in there.
Well, you know. And I have actually contacted 5 contractors. 3 of them never called me back, they just drove by the house and never called me back. And 2 of them shot me a price that was so damn high that it was.
They shot you, I didn't wanna do it. right?
Yeah, they shot me the I don't wanna do it price. Casey's a good guy, he's a good old country boy, so we got it worked out. But, alright,
Happy to help. I just retired and moved back to Southville, and I said, well, yeah, I can do this. That's what I did for many years. I thought I retired where I didn't have to work, but I kinda enjoy helping other people, and it's all right.
alright, gentlemen. I think my questions are answered, so the next council meeting is the 21st.
Yes, sir, 6 o'clock.
I'll be there.
All right, I'll get you on there and go on that.
Do you recommend he bring pictures of progress, maybe?
Well, hopefully the roof will be done by then.
Yeah.
You know, we'll be working on gutting the house, so. Should I go ahead and put this cabin on that foundation, or should I wait?
I wouldn't, I don't want you throwing good money after that.
I've already got the stuff for it, so
Yeah, the labor, but
I'm the one doing it.
then we get into, how much you can actually have buildings on that piece of property,
Right.
which is, what is it, 30% of the square footage for the property.
I know this cabin will be 140 feet away from the main house when I move it to where the foundation is gonna be, which is right next to where it's sitting
Yeah.
right now. So I'm literally moving it 12 feet in towards the house, and still it'll be 140 feet away from the main house. It's over 100 feet from the mayor's, it's well over 100 feet, it's almost 200 feet from Kendrick's. And it's at least 100 feet from the two closest neighbors behind me. So. There's plenty of feet between all the other structures in the area.
Not more than 35% there.
Let's see, what did Dayrite, I actually found out the year the house was built from Dayrite, when I called Dayrite.
Really?
Oh, yeah, they gave me all sorts of information about that house.
Wow.
It's like a 15,000 square foot lot. House was built in 1908,
No.
it's 1,192 square feet.
Did it have gas lights in it?
I don't know,
You
it's
didn't
got
find
gas
any.
run to it, but I haven't
But
found
not
any
gas
valves.
lights, like
Yeah.
for the rooms,
I
yeah.
haven't found any gas valves in the walls yet,
Yeah.
so.
35%.
Well, appreciate your time. Appreciate you actually explaining that to me, because that's, everybody's always, everybody said you're in violation of this, but nobody's actually explained to me what it is. So,
So I try and play fair. That's what I do. I need to talk to y'all.
have a good evening.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll get on our way so you guys can get on yours.
Okay, thank you. You done?
Yeah, is there anything else? Wasn't there a couple other properties?
Yeah. Okay, this is, Gilbert's, that's what I wrote up for Gilbert's.
Who did Melissa condemn last week? Or a week or so ago?
I think it was by his,
Yeah.
Oh, and she just called it a condemn.
she put the red paper on it a
Oh,
while
okay.
ago.
Oh, yeah.
I know they've
The
been trying to get
15th
hold
is
of him for
Friday,
a long
and they need
time,
to
and
have-
it's never,
All this done by Friday, and it's not gonna happen.
No,
409 North Chestnut still has, this is the house, across from North Park to the west, in between the little church
yeah,
and,
the one with the tree growing out of it or something?
no,
I know the one with the
this is
guys.
on the other end of the park.
Oh, okay. The one,
And, the guy came in and I forget his name, but, he came in, started hauling stuff out of there, cutting trees out of the yard, making progress. But, 409 North Chestnut still has windows open. This is, when did I write this? The 7th of February. This is 2024. So it has windows in first and second floor, on first and second floor. The retaining fence has fallen over, during the winter. Crawl space needs to be closed up if open, and the garage is falling in and need to be boarded up to keep children and rodents out, which I'm thinking the neighbors are upset. Also needs mowed, cleaned of debris, also need to be moved forward with condemning if property is not corrected, and possible asbestos siding can be an issue. But he started moving on that one, because the day before, or the day after I wrote this up, he was in the office with me and Melissa. And I explained to him what he needed to do, and he was over there right after he left out of there. And he was asking, because he had paid Patrick Minner's guys to do something. They started, and as soon as he left the property, he told them what to do. As soon as he left the property, they bailed on him, took his money. Now he had other people over there helping, and I haven't really looked at it in the past couple of weeks, but I sent Clayton Miles over there to pick up all the metal and crap, even the stuff that he had in the garage if he wanted to get rid of it. I don't know if any of that come to be, but we had talked to him about that. 217 First Street needs windows boarded up and any small hole also cut, and any small holes also small holes also sealed. Cut trees from around the foundation, has been empty for several years and may need to be removed, possibly asbestos siding also. I have no idea if anything's, I wish Zach and them were here to say if we progressed with any of that. These are just my recommendations, because these are the ones that were brought to me. 301 West Summer is being remodeled, which they actually just posted pictures on, if you grew up in Monroe City, and that is really nice remodel now,
Awesome.
and it's very, very nice. Yeah, very nice remodel. Cause it looked horrible before. So, I think
That's
about
the house,
across from,
The
the
elevator?
elevator, yep. Yep.
Oh, yeah, did they
house.
tear that down and redo it? It looks like a brand new house.
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
I think they're gonna
That was
live
my
in it.
grandfather's
Yeah.
house.
They're, really? Well, they're moving from out of town in town, and, he needs to put a garage in there, because he does have his own construction company, and he's got a backhoe and a high lift and all that stuff, but if we can get somebody in town that can do that kind of work, I say we just let them.
Mm-hmm, especially as nice of a job that
I
they
mean,
can
we're gonna play
remodel.
within the rules, but you know what I mean.
Well, sure.
But that's about all I have, guys. I didn't mean to keep you any longer than we needed.